The names Alfred Edwards and Dr. James Spensley may mean little to modern-day fans of Italian football, yet those two Englishmen, along with countless other sailors and traders towards the turn of the century, are the main reason why, as the next century fast approaches, organised football in Italy is tonight celebrating its 100th birthday. 100 years of the Italian FA, and tonight in Rome's Olympic Stadium, a glittering array of stars have come together under the banner of the FIFA World Stars 11 to take on the famed Azzurri, the Italian national side. The whole match coming your way on Eurosport. It's a very good evening from Guy Mowbray inside the magnificent Olympic Stadium. It holds in excess of 80,000 supporters. Nothing like that number inside here tonight. But Trevor Stephen, alongside me, former England, Everton and Rangers star, those that have come are expecting to be entertained by some of the modern-day world's great names.
Without question, I think we're all sat here hoping for a good game, an open game. You know, we don't really want to see negative football. It's a celebration after all, and the players on view this evening are absolutely top draw, and I'm excited about it. Let's just hope that it is an open game and we see the best of both sides. The one thing that may cause this game not to be as good as we think it should be is that Dino Zoff is still looking at some of the players in the Italian squad, and they'll want to do as well as they possibly can and not give too much away at the back. So let's hope that they're fairly generous towards the rest of the world team.
Well, we didn't know quite what to expect on our way to the Olympic Stadium this afternoon. Would Dino Zoff play a full-strength team for this essentially friendly match? Well, the answer to that is quite simply yes, he has done, because it's a team that's not far removed from the side that lined up in Spain in a recent keenly fought friendly international. And the likes of Angelo Peruzzi in goal, Christian Panucci, Paolo Maldini, Diego Fuser, Filippo Inzaghi, Francesco Totti all play tonight in that Italian side. As you said, Trevor, places up for grabs, but I think we're really pleasantly surprised with the strong lineup that Dino Zoff has named. He's got his full squad out.
Well, he has, and you know, it is a 100-year celebration, a centenary for the Italian Football Association. So you'd expect the coach to put out the best possible team that he can. He's had full cooperation from the players and from the different teams to release the players for this game, and now they just have to do the game justice. I'm sure they will. They'll go out there with smiling faces, as we can see as the players going by, Maldini there, that they'll be looking forward to it. It's a great sense of occasion here, and we're looking forward to fireworks once the referee blows that first whistle.
We'll talk about the Italian side in a moment's time, but let's just concentrate on that World Stars 11 for the moment. You saw some really famous faces going by there as they made their way out of the tunnel. There's an Italian in goal, Gianluca Pagliuca. This is just the starting lineup. David Nayati of South Africa plays his football in Italy with Cagliari. Aaron Vinter, Dunga, Fernando Hierro of Spain, George Weah, there's that man Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, World Cup winner, 2 goals in the World Cup final on July the 12th, Gabriel Batistuta there wearing number 11, Zé Maria of Brazil, Rui Costa of Portugal, and that's not to mention players on the bench such as Oliver Bierhoff, Hidetoshi Nakata of Perugia in Japan, one of the World Games rising stars, Marcelo Salas, João Pinto, the World Cup Golden Boot winner Davor Suker. I just wonder what this lot would be worth.
Absolutely incredible, isn't it? It just shows you the seriousness that these individual players have taken this game. They well respect the Italian FA. A lot of those players, of course, are playing in Italian football, and it's good to see them all turn out. And I'm particularly looking forward to, obviously, to seeing Ronaldo playing alongside Batistuta. We saw that before the World Cup in France in '98 in the opening game, and that was a joy to watch those two players linked up so very well indeed. And let's hope for the same tonight.
And George Weah playing just behind them as well. That really is some strike force that the World Stars 11's coaches have got at their disposal this evening. The coach is incidentally Carlos Alberto Pereira, a World Cup winner as a coach in 1994 with Brazil.
Make sure that his team's working hard. He doesn't give anything away lightly, and it should be an exciting night. I'm looking forward to it. It's a real sense of occasion, as I said before. It's such a massive, beautiful stadium as well. You know, the crowd isn't exactly what we might have expected But there's still going to be 40,000 people here this evening. A lot of children as well, encouraging a lot of youngsters to come along and see such fine talent as we're going to see tonight.
Yes, the Italian FA have very generously allowed plenty of underprivileged and handicapped children from Rome and the surrounding area to enter the Olympic Stadium for free tonight to see some of the names that they could only have dreamed about watching play football in the flesh. Let's run through that World Stars 11 starting lineup in full then. Gianluca Pagliuca, David Nayafi, Aaron Winter, Dunga, Fernando Hierro, George Weah, Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, Gabriel Batistuta, Zimorea and Rui Costa. Those are the players that start the game. As for Italy, well, Angelo Peruzzi in goal. At number 2, Christian Panucci. 4 is Dino Baggio. 5, Fabio Cannavaro. 6, the skipper, Paolo Maldini. 7, Diego Fuser. 8, Demetrio Albertini. 9, Juventus striker, Filippo Inzaghi. 10 is Francesco Totti, the informed striker from AS Roma. 11, his Roma colleague Eusebio Di Francesco. And 13, a player who plays his football in the Olympic Stadium here, but with Lazio, that's Alessandro Nesta. On the bench, some more familiar Italian names: Gianluigi Buffon, the reserve goalkeeper, Soto, Negro, Torricelli, Bacchini, Cois, Tomasi, Chiesa and Del Vecchio. And we've got French officials for this celebratory night. The referee is Monsieur Remy Arel. Great roars greet the Italian national anthem. Just looking at the faces of the Italian players, you can see that quite a few of them are treating this as more than just a training exercise. Seriously, they're going to try and put themselves in the frame for a regular place in Dino's off starting lineup with some very important Euro 2000 qualifying matches coming up in the new year. Italy's next game comes on the 27th of March. They're away to Denmark. They then entertain Belarus on the 31st of March, just 4 days later. And then they have to wait until June of '99 for a home fixture against Wales. The dignitaries trot their way down the line, shaking hands with that amazing lineup of talent that is the FIFA World Stars 11. And an Italian in there, Gianluca Pagliuca. He must feel a little out of place, and if anybody else feels out of place, it must be the number 3, Trevor, the South African fullback David Nayafi. No disrespect to him, but the Cagliari fullback hardly fits in with that sort of team.
Yeah, he'll just be enjoying the night, surely, and he may actually feel a little bit intimidated, you're right, with the company that he's keeping this evening. But as you look along the line, it's an absolutely wonderful lineup, and Mr. Sepp Blatter there being introduced to the sides.
Having said that about Nayafi, he played in the World Cup. There is one player in the starting lineup for the World Stars who wasn't present at France 98, and that was former World Player of the Year George Weah, so that's not a bad player to have without World Cup experience. Hidetoshi Nakata on the bench was with the World Cup with Japan. Ike Shurunmu, the Nigerian reserve goalkeeper, plays his football in Switzerland with FC Zurich. He's on the bench as well as Oliver Bierhoff, João Pinto, Marcelo Salas, Davor Suker, and the white-toothed Mexican Hernandez, who scored 4 goals during France 98. Italy then are going to be in their traditional blue shirts. Angelo Peruzzi gets stripped off and ready for action. The World 11 all in white. Finally, the pitch is clear of school children and dignitaries and ball boys and the marching band, and in a few moments' time we'll be able to get on with beginning the celebrations for 100 years of the Italian Football Federation. If you were just wondering who those names were we were mentioning at the top of the programme, though, the English gentlemen Alfred Edwards and Dr. James Spensley, well, very much an English origin to the game in Italy. And the Milan Cricket and Football Club was formed in 1899 by Englishman Alfred Edwards. 9 years later, an Italian and Swiss rebel faction broke away to form Internazionale, and the Genoa Cricket and Athletic Club formed in 1893. That was by Dr. James Spensley, originally a club solely for English expats. And amazing that a game that was so foreign to Italy when it was first brought over has caught on. I don't think there's anywhere else in Europe, Trevor, where it's as much a religion as it is here.
Well, we've spent the day, haven't we, Guy, on the streets of Rome, having a good look around, and you can
finally get the action underway. Italy attacking from left to right in the first half, and a bit of pace shown very early on by Maldini. Looking into the centre towards Inzaghi. First firework of the evening, and a first touch for Pagliuca, the sole Italian in the World Stars side.
Well, it's nice to see, Guy, that the rest of the world team has been picked in a very attacking mode. We've actually only got two real defenders on the field for them, with Hierro and Nayati. Apart from that, you've got a mixture. Apart from Dunga, who's a defensive midfield player, there's no out-and-out defenders at all. So we've got a team of real quality, attacking quality for sure.
Even defenders like Fernando Hierro are known to like to get forward on more than the odd occasion. Flicked out by Rui Costa. Now here's Vinta. Used to be a favourite in the Olympic Stadium with Lazio, now playing his football with Inter Milan, but can well remember the battles he had with the German Thomas Dahl and England's Paul Gascoigne for a place in the Lazio midfield. Here's Weah. Niati. Wayward ball from the South African. Break on perhaps now. Totti. Well, setting his sights early. Francesco Totti. Not on target this time, but we're just grateful for an early shot to spark some life into the crowd.
Yeah, definitely. It's so quiet, isn't it? But I think we should be getting a lot of opportunities like that. Describing the defensive situation with the rest of the world team, and it is very scattered, to say the least. I would expect Totti and Inzaghi up front for the Italians to get plenty room to manoeuvre.
Fuser will leave the throw for Christian Panucci. Now Dino Baggio. All the way back towards Nesta. Another native of Rome in football terms, the Lazio defender. Maldini now. Di Francesco. Once more it's the skipper Maldini. Di Francesco in the centre along with Inzaghi. And it's the blue shirts of Italy having all the possession in the early stages. Christian Panucci, a rarity in Italian terms in that he of course plays his football abroad in Spain with Real Madrid. Once again involved with the throw to Totti. And Fuser wanted the return. Aaron Vinta got in the way. And then puts it out of play for another Christian Panucci throw. Comfortably cut out by Dunga. Again the Brazilian with a challenge. Now Zidane. Wayward ball from Ronaldo. And almost won back for the World Stars 11 by Zé Maria. Play interrupted by first blast on the whistle from referee Monsieur Arel. Niati. First real spell of possession that the World Stars have managed. I don't know how many games like this you've played in, Trevor, but how difficult is it to gel instantly, having only come together yesterday as a group, and try and play as a team? I should think with all this talent on show, that will be the most difficult job for the temporary coaches.
Yeah, it will be difficult, but it's not that important that they gel together. You know, as long as they try to play and are adventurous. And we do want to see some tackling. We haven't seen any tackles as yet, and I think that is indicative of a friendly match such as this. But we're hoping to see skill and a few incidents and accidents along the way.
One thing we do hope is that it doesn't generate into farce and finish something like 6-6 with goalkeepers coming forward to wander down the field and score. You never know, we might be praying for that a little later on unless things liven up. Totti going for his second shot of the night. And he's doing more than anybody to try and spark some life into the occasion. Two shots in anger from Francesco Totti, and the second one much closer and much more fiercely struck than the first. Good interplay there between Weah and Ronaldo. Now Ronaldo again. Getting lucky with a deflection, George Weah. Well, gradually we're seeing an increase in pace. Here's Panucci. Inzaghi couldn't take it in his stride. The challenge from behind was from Niati. Here's the party stuff beginning from two world players of the year, George Weah and Ronaldo.
I think those two are going to encourage each other all through the game, aren't they? See who can do the cleverest flick.
Almost a case of anything you can do, I can do better from those two tonight. Batistuta alongside them isn't that sort of player. He will just rely on putting the goals in, whether it be from 6 yards or, well, I suppose his limit is about 10 yards. The master poacher. Zidane. Batistuta challenged well by Panucci. In a game like this, you're always going to be starved of atmosphere until the trick stuff starts, simply because a lot of supporters will be wondering just who they want to cheer.
Still quite a good exercise though for the Italian team. With Dino Zoff picking literally a full-strength side. It's good exercise and team pattern, team play, linking up of players with literally no pressure on them whatsoever. So it's a rare occasion.
Maldini moving it forward to Dino Baggio. Now Francesco Totti. Are we going to have shot number 3? This time couldn't find a way through. Weah has found a way through to Di Francesco. Now Totti. Maldini. Inzaghi calling for it, right edge of the 6-yard box. Nearly broke again to Di Francesco. Now it's Zidane. Ronaldo, seemingly cured of the mental problems and illness that caused such headlines towards the end of France '98, on the final day itself, the day of French triumph in the World Cup final. But he isn't completely clear of what he has described himself as chronic knee problems, and only used sparingly by Inter Milan so far this season. That's a trend that may well continue. As another shot drifts harmlessly wide of Pagliuca's goal. Dino Zoff doesn't look too happy with his side in the early stages. It's a chance for the coaches to sit back and analyse without putting too much stress on the heart, I suppose. Ball played out by Maldini, so Panucci can receive treatment. Just talking about Ronaldo, Trevor, there is a school of thought that having started at such a high level of football at the age of 16, it may be a burnout sort of factor creeping into him already. Or, as we said, already used sparingly by Inter Milan to try and ease that knee problem.
Yeah, that is vital. I think it's important that the coaches realise the stresses and strains that the top players are under. And of course, with the World Cup in the summer as well, it's made this season almost seem longer than it is already. So Inter are doing the right thing, just using them sparingly, and that's the best way to go, I'm sure, for the long-term future of Ronaldo.
Here's Albertini looking for Inzaghi. Goal number 1. And real quality about it too. Well, it may be just a friendly, but that goal meant quite a lot to Filippo Inzaghi. It's livened up the Olympic Stadium, and it was really well taken on the volley.
Well, he's got to pick holes all night, I think, between Yero and David Nayati. There he just pulled off Nayati. That was a good ball in from the left-hand side. David Nayati's right under that one. Inzaghi just pulled off him. He could have taken 2 touches, but his first touch was brilliant. And that's a great finish, and certainly has livened up the occasion.
You can see there Nayati playing Inzaghi onside, left in no man's land by the excellent cross of Dimitri Albertini. And Inzaghi did the rest, off the underside of the bar. No chance for Pagliuca. And Italy have got a bit of a spring in their step now. Here's Di Francesco. Again, it's Inzaghi hovering around the edge of the area. Totti comes wide to support. Again, it's aimed towards the number 9. This time Pagliuca reacted really well. Well, Filippo Inzaghi, with his first 2 touches of the game, has scored 1 goal. Been denied by his Italian national teammate Pagliuca for another. And Pagliuca received a bit of a knock in the process. Looks as though he's going to continue, though.
Yeah, that was absolutely fabulous save there. As we saw again, Totti puts that ball in just as Albertini had done previously for Inzaghi's goal. Swing it in towards the goal, and Inzaghi got connection on it, but Pagliuca saved the blushes of his side there.
Still holding that wrist, Pagliuca, as Ronaldo shows his party tricks, looking for Zidane. Great challenge. Really good defending from Nesta, and that's warmly applauded by the Lazio fans in the crowd. Ronaldo again looking for Batistuta. Peruzzi will watch that out, and Batistuta yet to touch the ball this evening. Now breaking away, but denied by Pagliuca. It was a good little run from Inzaghi again as we look back at the replay of the goal.
Well, I did say before the game that this defence worries me somewhat. The rest of the world defence is literally non-existent.
All wanting to move forward. They're showing that here. Only Yero has stayed back in his own half. Batistuta thought about the shot. Now it's Jose Maria. And cut out at the near post. A cross not too effective from Aaron Winter. Away by Maldini. Again Inzaghi just pulling away from Niathi. Dino Baggio. Di Francesco crowded out. Breaks towards Fuser again. The flag up this time against Inzaghi. Won't reach him in any case. Fuser, another ex-Lazio man, now enjoying his football with Parma. Makes a really good midfield combination towards the right-hand side of the field with Dino Baggio. Here's Rui Costa looking towards Ronaldo. Ronaldo's just starting to liven up and get himself into this game.
There's no way the Italian defence will want to be embarrassed by Ronaldo or Batistuta, and we'll see Cannavaro and Nesta keeping tight rein as much as they possibly can. Totally opposite to the rest of the world defence.
There's Maldini. Now Totti. Fuser lets the ball run to Panucci. 4 in the centre. And Yero is the big Spaniard who gets it away. When we say rest of the world, it really is picked from all across Europe, South America and Africa. And some defending to do here for the South African Niathi. And some more treatment needed on the field as Yero made contact in the back of the head of Filippo Inzaghi. There's some record that we just saw on the screen. 91 Serie A appearances, 44 goals. A goal every other game is a decent record for a striker in any standard of football. But in Italy, where goals are notoriously hard to come by, that really is excellent striking.
It really is. His movement is exceptional as well, Inzaghi. I'm sure David Nayati's finding that difficult to cope with, and I'm sure he'll be handing him over to Fernando Hierro before too long.
Inzaghi pulls wide this time. Totti in the centre. Di Francesco moving forward now. Still Inzaghi. And Hierro's clearance finds Zidane. Great ball from Zidane. Here's Ronaldo now. Really good goalkeeping from Peruzzi. Still Ronaldo. Then goes down. And he gets the free kick. Maldini quick to help up the Brazilian superstar. That was good work from Peruzzi in goal. Ronaldo trying to clip it over the advancing keeper. Suspicion of offside as the ball was played.
I thought he was offside, but I think, it's a friendly game after all. There's nothing lost. Let him have it. Good save there from Peruzzi. Second challenge there coming in from Maldini, and obviously Ronaldo fouled there. Just missed his opportunity in that lob.
Just looking back at the replay, suspicion of offside against Ronaldo. I'm just thinking if there's a suspicion of handball against Peruzzi just outside his area, as he blocked the attempted chip. Nevertheless, it will be a free kick now to the World 11. It's going to be Batistuta, leaves it for Hierro, and Peruzzi plucks it out of the air by the top corner, because that was where that was bound from Fernando Hierro. And Hierro there with a clever touch at the back to bring Dunga into play. Weah denied by Nesta. Baggio. Fusain. And towards Inzaghi. Hierro and Niati leave it for Paliuco. And here's the free kick again. Hierro. Well, I think he put that in just about the right position. Not enough pace on it to trouble Peruzzi. With free kicks in those sort of areas, though, and all the talent on show in the World Stars 11, I would think they'll be queuing up to take the next one.
Well, I think so. Hierro's had his one attempt. I think he'll now pass it on to one of the other three, who I think will be queuing up next time round.
Here's Di Francesco for Italy.
It's quite a nice balance about the Italian team at the moment. They're playing literally to a 4-4-2 system. Fusain, I think, on the right hand side gives them good balance. Baggio in the middle. Dino Baggio gives them that rock solidness. And of course, I think that one of the strong points of the Italian team is the central defenders, Cannavaro and Nesta. I don't think we're going to find a better combination across Europe.
Here's Fusain, former teammate of Nesta, current teammate of Cannavaro. Now a cross coming in from Panucci, the teammate of Hierro at Real Madrid, and didn't trouble him with that particular cross. It remains Italy 1, the World Stars 11 0. Filippo Inzaghi, the goal scorer. Away from Zé Maria. Back it will come through Paolo Maldini. Inzaghi still hovering around the edge of that World Stars 11 penalty area, being policed still by David Niati. And there's Dunga, can hardly waste the ball, bringing in Zé Maria, and now Rui Costa. Back to Hierro. Vinta finds Ronaldo. Room for Ronaldo to move into, and he does that at pace, and then looks for the free kick, and the French referee decides not to oblige him this time. Then straight into the back of Cannavaro, something Ronaldo is particularly adept at doing. Just stops dead in his tracks, holds his hands up, and so many times he gets the free kick, but it's by no means cheating. He takes it to an art form. Seems to be able to get into those positions to get the free kicks that so many other players can't do. Panucci is looking for Fusain there, cut out by Niati. Now Zidane, getting himself in a tangle. Weah. Batistuta lets it drop. A goal a game in Serie A this season, Gabriel Batistuta. 13 in 13 for table-topping Fiorentina. Weah now looks for Ronaldo. Beautiful ball clipped over from the Liberian to the Brazilian. He couldn't make the most of it.
That was a wonderful, delicate touch, wasn't it, there from George Weah? Just trying to get himself involved in the game, and perfectly timed run there from Ronaldo, and just couldn't quite make it with his left foot there.
Clearance from Pagliuca now. Not claimed by Batistuta. Here's Panucci. Dino Baggio. Now Totti looking for Inzaghi. That's a great pass. Inzaghi. Great save as well from Pagliuca. Doesn't want to be beaten by the Juventus striker a second time. He's already made one good save from him. That one was just as good. But the main talking point of the Italian move forward was the pass from Totti.
Good vision from Totti. Yet again Inzaghi giving him that option. Just getting between two defenders and always running towards goal as well, which is where the main threat is.
Here's Ronaldo. End-to-end stuff at the moment. Zidane has found Batistuta. Must score. Oh, and he does so emphatically. Doesn't matter if it's a friendly game or a top-of-the-range international. Batistuta is deadly from anywhere around the penalty area. It was a great ball from Zidane. Wrong-footed the defence. Almost looked to have mishit it at first. But he knew exactly where Batistuta was, and he needed no second invitation.
Oh, magnificent goal, absolutely magnificent. Zidane, the ball was almost under his feet, but still made the pass. I thought Batistuta might drag the ball across to the goalkeeper's left, but no, if he was going to score at the near post, that was the only place he could put it, and he put it there with venom.
Where would you rank him, Trevor, in terms of out-and-out goal poachers? He must be just about, certainly in the top three in the world.
I think he's far more than a goal poacher. I mean, he scores goals like that. That's not poaching a goal, that's clinical finishing. But he can do the poaching as well. I think out-and-out, as far as out-and-out quality strikers are concerned at the moment, I think he's got to be number one. Ronaldo's not at the peak of his form, and I think that's slightly different in their qualities anyway. I suppose if Ronaldo was on top form, he would be the number one player in the world.
Well, given away, and a chance for Batistuta to score number 2 of the evening. That was certainly not poaching. He was denied anyway by Peruzzi. A strike from 20 yards, kept out. And amazing what a goal can do to a striker like Batistuta again. Finding his bounce and zest for the game. It was a mistake by Cannavaro that very nearly let in the Argentinian. Vinter away, bundles his way through a couple of challenges. 3-on-3 now. Ronaldo is the man in the middle. Still Ronaldo. Oh, it's a great piece of skill. Just behind Batistuta. Weah's there. Magnificent stuff from Ronaldo. George Weah with the finish. Well, we're getting the goals that we wanted. And even more pleasing, we're getting them with real style. How about this from the brilliant Brazilian?
Well, Cannavaro made one mistake. He let Ronaldo pick up the ball and run at him, and he left him for dead. George Weah's done well there to get in on the end of it. The damage had already been done there. Ronaldo allowed to run at Cannavaro. Cannavaro is one of the best defenders in the world, yet Ronaldo's made him look so ordinary. The ball's ricocheted to George Weah. Maldini couldn't deal with it, and that's all that George Weah needed, just a fraction of a second, and that gives the rest of the world the lead.
Italy coming back strongly. It will break here towards Fuser. Now Maldini with the header, and away by Jose Maria, guarding the post. Corner for the Italians. Totti, and again Totti. Challenge comes in from Dunga. Totti to take the second corner of the attack. Decent one as well, whipped in to the heart of the penalty area. Volley clear, and not for long. Here's Fuser. Keeping it in, just. Albertini, great effort. Saved by Paliuka. Weah now. Couldn't have struck a shot much better, Dimitri Albertini. It was low. They have real pace behind it.
I think it took a deflection as well of Dunga as it came in. In fact, I think it was George Weah that took the deflection. What a great reaction there from Paliuka.
Paliuka coming up to 350 Serie A appearances and 50 Italian national side caps. Nowhere near the 112 that his current national team coach Dino Zoff earned, but nevertheless a fine record from the Inter Milan number 1. Number 2 in the national side at the moment, thanks to the man at the other end of the field, Angelo Peruzzi. Here's Inzaghi looking to combine with Totti. Paliuka can't keep it in. Corner to Italy. Italy 1, the World Stars 11-2. Filippo Inzaghi having given Italy the lead. With Gabriel Batistuta and George Weah fit back for, on the side I was going to say the visitors. I don't suppose that is their term this evening. Here's Weah, comfortably away from Weah. And now the break is on for Rui Costa. Zidane to the left, Ronaldo to the right. Here's Zinedine Zidane. Shoots early. Off the outside of the post. Really good stuff from the World Stars now.
Well, the attacking threat is absolutely enormous, isn't it, from the rest of the world? This was a lightning break. Zidane, no hesitation, decided to hit the ball first time. 6 inches the other side, and that would have made it 3-1.
Well, Dino Zoff has been prowling the touchline for a little while, looking a little concerned, and understandably so. More than just a training exercise for his side, his players want to cement places, make it hard for Zoff to drop them for the next Euro 2000 qualifier. And at the moment they're being ripped apart by, well, in all honesty, a side that they're never likely to have to face again, but nevertheless, they've got work to do to get back into it. Here's Di Francesco. Weah takes on Dino Baggio. Challenge from Dunga. Batistuta gets his head in. Now Ronaldo. Rui Costa. Just let it run away. Baggio again towards Totti. Inzaghi staying forward as the out-and-out frontman Totti, so often coming deep to collect the ball. Now brings in the skipper Maldini. Di Francesco to Totti once again. The back heel too elaborate. Behind Albertini. And then Weah looking for Ronaldo. Shadowed all the way by Nesta. Batistuta too far ahead of Weah. And finally clear from Dimitri Albertini. To Baggio, to Di Francesco. Nowhere to go. The
Italians still find it difficult once they get to that area of the field. They've been given the ball away a bit too easily. And of course the rest of the world side is a team full of the capability of counter-attack. And we've already had 2 or 3 demonstrations of that, and at the moment the Italian side are falling into the trap.
And there is Cannavaro. Totti. Weah trying to accelerate the pace of the attack. Panucci, only one to aim at. That was Filippo Inzaghi, never likely to reach him though. Rui Costa, student of the Graham Souness style of play with Benfica. Italy have it back again with Maldini. Now Dino Baggio looking for the run of Inzaghi again. The aero cuts out that particular move forward. Ronaldo can't reach the pass from Rui Costa.
I think there'd be one thing that Dino Zoff is not particularly thrilled about. In his midfield, he has Albertini and Dino Baggio, and neither of those players are capable of going past players with the ball.
Here's Totti, who's capable of shooting, as we've seen, and playing a good ball into the box. And the finish was just a little bit too elaborate from Di Francesco moving in. Totti again, the provider. Well, it could have been left to Inzaghi. Di Francesco went for the trick stuff. If it had gone in, we would have been toasting the finish, but...
Well, if this had been a qualifying game, he would have been shot by now, I think. But I think he's just purely trying to entertain the crowd, and there's nothing lost. As you say, if it had gone in, it would have been a superb goal.
Batistuta preparing to make his entrance for the World 11. That puts things into perspective when they've got Suker on the bench. There's Ronaldo looking towards Batistuta. Away with Di Francesco. I'm sure if another opportunity comes his way, he'll opt for the good old-fashioned blast past the keeper.
Yeah, you must learn from your mistakes in this game, guy.
Here's Maldini looking towards Inzaghi. Or was he looking for the near post? Either way, it was cut out by Pagliuca. Right then, Trevor, I'll put you in the shoes of Dr. Venglos and Carlos Alberto Pereira. You've got Davor Suker waiting to come on, but not just yet, because here's Batistuta. George Weah in support. Still Batistuta. Is he going to lose out to Cannavaro? Being forced wide enough. Manages to get the corner. Who do you take off? We're going to find out just who they're going to take off now.
Well, that's a difficult one.
It's going to be Ronaldo.
Yes, I would have thought Ronaldo.
So Ronaldo leaves the field, having had a run around. Hasn't got a goal. So was instrumental in the second one that George Weah scored, and replaced by Davor Suker. I wonder if we'll see Ronaldo back again before the end of the evening. Just Suker and Batistuta, the two leading scorers at France 98 for Italy to worry about now. In towards Suker, and just too high for Batistuta. Mayati. Vinta. George Weah wants to spread it wide, does just that. Here's Di Maria moving forward on the overlap. Rui Costa looks towards Suker. Cleared by Panucci this time. Di Francesco for Italy. Dino Baggio. Perfect for Panucci. Now Totti, great ball. Panucci onside. Dino Baggio back in towards the box where Iero can tidy up. Away goes Rui Costa now to Zidane. Suker to his left. Zidane instead finds Batistuta. Little touch for Rui Costa. And he makes his frustration very evident at that shot, which was very high and wide. Ronaldo gets on with the post-match interview. Looks as if he's enjoyed himself anyway. Good to see him back with a smile on his face, a far cry from the pictures that we saw beamed right around the world on July the 12th. Here's Paolo Maldini. Trying his hand at being a winger. Brings in Di Francesco. Fuser back towards Panucci. The lack of noise around the ground has made this almost like a theatre occasion. It's almost as if fans that have come to the Olympic Stadium are sitting back, arms folded, and saying, come on then, you're the stars, entertain us. And 3 goals in 34 minutes isn't a bad tally for starters. Here's Maldini. Totti's touch. Won't find Di Francesco. It will find Fernando Hierro. Maldino's off. Looks just a little concerned still, Trevor.
Yeah, it's not quite coming off for the Italians. They've had a fair bit of possession. Saw a bit of movement a couple of minutes ago with Panucci getting down on the right-hand side, which is better. But they're very rarely getting into those positions and tend to be losing the ball outside the 18-yard box and not getting good delivery of crosses into the box at the moment.
There's Vinter. Dunga gives it away. Not often as a commentator you have to use that expression. That's more like Dunga. To his compatriot Jose Maria, and now George Weah. Zidane on the ball. Zidane, who's just been voted World Player of the Year by readers of that illustrious football publication World Soccer Magazine. Ronaldo's won it twice before, George Weah once. Now back towards Batistuta. A cut out, uncomfortable for Peruzzi. I suppose that shot sums up the evening rather. Substitutes warming up in front of vast expanses of empty seats. Panucci. Paolo Maldini. Inzaghi making a run across the face of Hierro on the edge of the box. Totti is going to be held up though. Now the burst comes in from Di Francesco, who scores this time with a more orthodox finish. A toe poke past Pagliuca. 2-2, 36 minutes played, and Di Francesco sits on the fence in celebration.
Well, I thought Pagliuca just done enough to save that from Di Francesco. And obviously not done quite enough. Albertini played a superb ball through. The rest of the world defence caught a little bit flat-footed there. Di Francesco makes his dart in from the left-hand side. Gets his foot to the ball and does enough. And that brings Italy back into the match.
2-2 at the Olympic Stadium. Pagliuca still made a very gallant effort to save the effort. Of all the players on the field this evening, he just about as much as anybody. He's pulling out all the stops to put in a good performance, Gianluca Pagliuca, but he's been beaten twice, as has Angelo Peruzzi at the other end of the field. And Hierro and Dunga closed down, and away will come Italy once again with Totti. Fuser. Inzaghi the target. Got everything right but the direction. Headed down across the face of goal. But a few yards the wrong side of the post.
Well, they were quick to break there. Once they'd won the ball in midfield, a vital area of the pitch, they were able to move forward quickly. And that's what it ended up with again, and Inzaghi finding himself in space.
He's pulled off the back of Jose Maria this time. Italy are going to make their first substitution at the first available opportunity. And now is Totti battling away and losing. Weah. Now Batistuta. Away by Maldini. Di Francesco sets off again, runs straight into Jose Maria this time. Rui Costa looking for Davor Suker. We've not seen too much of the Croatians so far. And he won't do this time, as Maldini combines well with Cannavaro and Nesta, and now Panucci to get the ball away. Dino Baggio. Dunga. And Rui Costa. Zidane runs into the cul-de-sac. Fuser. Dino Baggio's made a great burst there. Even better ball to Inzaghi. Shadowed every step of the way by Hierro. It's an Italian corner as Paolo Negro makes his way onto the field. He replaces Alessandro Nesta. So it's a Lazio defender replacing his Lazio teammate. That decision hasn't gone down too well with the fans. I presume those are Roma fans with the catcalls. And Zidane of Juventus gets the ball away. As far as Dino Baggio. Great ball now. Here's Totti. And Rui Costa will complete the clearance. Offside flag is raised against Inzaghi. Play will go on. And in fact, the referee has called play back for a free kick to the World Stars 11. Weah forward towards Rui Costa. And now George Weah again. Easy for Peruzzi. Never too easy with a bowl out like that. Here's Zidane. Batistuta lurks on the very edge of the area. Zidane wants to go himself all the way. Still the attack has momentum until Batistuta's shot brings a goal kick for Angelo Peruzzi. There's Zidane trying to do what Ronaldo did, a couple of step-overs.
Well, the thing with that, Bonucci knows exactly what Zidane's going to do, but he still can't deal with it. He does it so quickly, so fluidly. The defender finds himself on the back foot, he's bought the dummy and he's passed him.
And that's what led to the second goal for the World Stars 11. Ronaldo with that sort of movement. Just wonder if that's what Alessandro Nesta is being asked about down on the touchline at the moment. His view of the goal. Say the goal, we've had 4 of them now. And we've still got 3 minutes to go until the half-time interval. A celebration of Italian football tonight on Eurosport. And Italy level at 2-2 with a star-studded World 11. Zidane. Souquet back towards the Frenchman. Gets out of the challenge well. Pass a little too heavy for Rui Costa. I always get the feeling that this sort of game was made for Zinedine Zidane. So often in fast and furious games that have a great deal more meaning than this, he gets to show his skills. He shows why he's undoubtedly one of the greatest in the world, but he also carries himself as if he can't be altogether too bothered with some aspects of the game, Trevor. But in this game, he gets to show the full range of his skills without having to overexert himself.
Yeah, he's one of these players who, funnily enough, can sometimes appear quite awkward, yet we know he's got so much skill and so much ability. And he's a big man as well, but his balance is absolutely second to none.
Italy now with Fuser, shooting opportunity for the Parma man. Oh, that's a great finish from Diego Fuser. Didn't seem to be much on. He waited and waited for the ball to drop. And Paliuca saw about as much of that as we did in the stands.
You're right, absolutely right there, Guy. He's taken this ball down on his chest. And I thought Aaron Vinta was just going to make it back. But obviously not fast enough. Paliuca got a fingertip to it, I believe. But that was a super shot from Fuser. I've seen him do that on numerous occasions. He does strike a good volley.
Just get the feeling, looking at the replay, that if this was a full-blooded Serie A encounter, Inter Milan against Parma, Vinta may have been a little more committed with the block tackle. Nevertheless, it's goals we came to see, and 5 goals we've had in the first half. Long may it continue. Wouldn't mind seeing a few more spicy tackles as well, though.
I don't think there's much chance of that, actually, but the goals quality has been excellent, hasn't it? It's showed some real skill amongst the players. We know that they're absolutely outstanding players, but sometimes it's always difficult to deliver what the fans here expect, what viewers expect. But certainly this evening we've seen a whole host of skills displayed.
There's George Weah, out-battled this time by Di Francesco. The Mexican Hernandez and the Chilean Marcelo Salas have begun to warm up as we approach half-time. There is Salas, joined now by Guerrero of Spain and Athletic Bilbao. 1 minute of time to be added on at the end of the first half, so friendly exhibition match though it may be, still sticking to FIFA regulations. Injury time must be played.
Yeah, token gesture, I think, from the officials there.
Foul in favour of Pippo Inzaghi. George Weah to Zidane. Rui Costa looking for Weah. We're going to have a sixth goal before the break. Batistuta couldn't take it in stride. Panucci and Peruzzi tidy up for Italy. And the half-time whistle blown by Monsieur Arel of France, our referee this evening, who's had very little to take issue with, as you might expect in a game of this nature. And we've got very little to complain about. A lack of tackles maybe, that was never going to be likely though. But we have had 5 quality goals, Trevor.
Yeah, some super stuff, some great players on display, and we've seen some great skills from them. And we'll have to see if Dino Zoff moves things around in the second half. But I've certainly enjoyed that first half, some great goals.
Filippo Inzaghi, Eusebio Di Francesco and Diego Fuser for Italy. Gabriel Batistuta and George Weah, the scorers for the FIFA World Stars 11. Myself and Trevor are going off to get a cap. The front two, Totti and Inzaghi, have been particularly impressive.
Yeah, Totti's on the ball a lot, and he plays alongside, that's Totti there, plays alongside Inzaghi, but drops off into midfield areas where he can't be picked up. Inzaghi picks up great holes to run into, albeit that Hierro and Nayati is not the best central defensive partnership you could put together. But Inzaghi's making the best of it, and he's making them look a little bit weak at times.
Having said that, Hierro's not had a bad game at the heart of the World Stars defence. I think it's those around him that are not making his job any easier. And in attack, you can just take your pick as to who's been impressive. They've all done little bits for us. They've all tried their party pieces.
Exactly. Everybody's has contributed, I think. The midfields are quite interesting. The Italian midfield with Albertini and Dino Baggio up against George Weah, of all people. It was quite unusual to see him wearing the number 7 shirt and playing in midfield.
And for that young man, a night to treasure for the rest of his life. Francesco Totti. And the photo opportunity. Just looking at the World Stars 11 with a back on the field. Well, there are quite a few changes. I can see 2 immediately. Marcelo Salas is on the field of Chile and Lazio. The Mexican striker Hernandez is also out there. Salas is wearing number 17, Hernandez wears 15. And there we go, we get a different sort of kick-off to the start of the second half. That's nice, and that's really what this evening is all about. Absolutely.
The ground has been full of the underprivileged children, handicapped children. They've been here in the numbers, and that's down to the Italian FA who've made that all happen for these young children tonight.
I'm sure that particular young man will be pretty overwhelmed by it all. Even you, Trevor, you played with the best, but you found it quite awe-inspiring to be on the pitch with the likes of Batistuta, I know, before the start of the action here. So Ike Shirunmu is in goal for the World World Stars 11 for the start of the second half, which we get underway now. So far, it's been all pretty relaxed, but very entertaining stuff. Here's Zé Maria. We'll just have a look and see which players have been replaced to allow Salas and Hernandez to take the field. Guerrero, the Spaniard of Athletic Bilbao, is also on there, as is number 20, Oliver Bierhoff of AC Milan and Germany. So wholesale changes. We haven't had any notification as to which four have made way for them. You can see that Davao Suker is still on the field. What we can tell you straight away is that Gabriel Batistuta is one of those who isn't. George Weah likewise. Here is Zé Maria and now Hernandez. I think there's Zé Maria again. Maldini's tackle. Haven't been quite so many changes as far as Italy are concerned, although you can see the number 17, Jonathan Bacchini, on there. And Moreno Torricelli has also taken his place, as well as Del Vecchio. Would have helped us if we'd had notification up here in the stands at the Olympic Stadium. Pretty relaxed for us as well. Here's Fuzet. And towards Del Vecchio. First touch for the Roma striker. Turn for the Lazio fans to boo. And an attacking opportunity might just find Totti in a good position. It's cut out by Niati. Corner to Italy. George Weah is still on the field in a rather more defensive role, and he's just stroked the ball out towards the corner flag. It's going to be Francesco Totti to take this corner for Italy. Maldini has made his way forward. Sandro Cois there as well. Panucci is the target. Away by Weah. Moving forward now is Bacchini. A strong tackle comes in for Negro. And away will go Hierro towards Bierhoff. Hernandez. Zé Maria. Looking towards Marcelo Salas, but too much weight on the ball. Easy for Buffon, reserve goalkeeper. One for Peruzzi at half-time. It's intended for Del Vecchio. Got the touch. But Hierro realised that he was going nowhere apart from out of bounds. Del Vecchio is looking pretty sprightly since replacing Inzaghi at half-time as the out-and-out striker. Now the flag is raised. Del Vecchio won't get the chance to open the scoring for the second half. And I think that's only the second offside we've had all evening. And French officials have been getting into the spirit of things too. Guerrero. Now Dunga. Offside surely Bierhoff by a good 5 or 6 yards.
Now that you've said we've only had 2, we're going to get 22, I think, within the next 5 minutes.
Maldini brings in Cois. Just too much pace on the ball for Bacchini. And the second half starting in a very similar pattern to the first. It's almost a new game we've got here, just about 2 new sides on show. We'll have to wait for the players to get warmed up before they start showing us their individual tricks, the likes of Marcelo Salas in particular. Looking forward to seeing him in action when the pressure's off. There he is, and giving it away. Lazio, incidentally, the club for whom Salas plays, and that man there, Fuzet, used to play, have been drawn against Panionios of Athens in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. That draw held earlier today. So Ronnie Whelan, the manager of Panionios, will be coming here to the Olympic Stadium. British involvement in the form of Chelsea at home to the Norwegian side Vålerenga. And while there's nothing much happening in this game, Trevor, we should just mention that one. Chelsea against Vålerenga. We saw Vålerenga against Besiktas in the last round. Besiktas of Turkey, managed by John Toshak. Might seem a quite comfortable draw for Gianluca Vialli's side, but we know from first-hand experience that the Norwegians, although they might go behind, they won't give up.
Yeah, the stayers, that's for sure. But I think it's a draw that Gianluca Vialli will be quite happy with. I think he'll have every faith in his team to come through on that one.
I thought Gianluca Vialli might have fancied playing in this game. Manchester United, of course, will face Inter Milan, I'm sure you already know, in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. Here's Totti, trying to break past Diero. Covering defender at the back was Niati. Dunga gives it straight away to Cois, and the whistle blown. Handball given against the Fiorentina midfielder. Fiorentina with Torricelli and Cois in the Italian national squad for this game. Batistuta, of course, played for the world's Stars 11. And Giovanni Trapattoni's side still leading the way in Serie A. Surprise leaders in many ways. It's a player that we didn't take a particular shine to during the World Cup, Trevor, that's been leading the way along with Batistuta. Edmundo of Brazil has been scoring a few goals and, more importantly, creating even more for Batistuta. Better player that he showed at times in France.
Yeah, it just shows what we know anyway, doesn't it?
Had about 20 minutes of substitute involvement during the World Cup. What did he do in those 20 minutes? Stood on the ball, all sorts of carrying on. Showing his true colours in the violet of Fiorentina this season. Here's Iero. Bierhoff. Now Guerrero. Dunga. Looking towards Hernandez. Comfortably shackled by Maldini. Good skills there from Bacchini. Combining with Cois. And now forward towards Francesco Totti. It's a good movement this from Italy. Back in towards Del Vecchio. Not a convincing defensive header, but away nevertheless. Well brought down by Totti. Only Del Vecchio in the centre. He's the target, Del Vecchio! Caught late by Shurunmu. Hardly in the spirit of the game, the challenge from the FC Zurich goalkeeper, but excellent play from the Roma strike partnership of Totti and Del Vecchio.
Yeah, Totti does this exceptionally well. He's had a great first touch there to kill the ball dead, and he puts that ball in so well to Del Vecchio. Swings it in with pace, and it's accurate. Del Vecchio knew exactly where to do, pull off the last defender, make himself a yard, and couldn't quite get that finishing touch.
Just been looking down at the World Stars lineup while you were talking there, Trevor, trying to work out where George Weah's playing. He's left back at the moment and he's being taken on by Tomasi. And he's not done badly. Play for a Torricelli throw. Looks as though Enrico Chiesa is going to come onto the field. Just trying to work out who's left from the first half in terms of the Italian side. And there's another one leaving the field. Francesco Totti's work is done for the evening. So on comes Chiesa. Maldini's left out there. Christian Panucci at right back. Diego Fuser. And that, I think, is about your lot.
There was always going to be wholesale changes. I think that's important. keep all the players involved and don't tire them out too much for the clubs come the weekend.
And a change for the World 11 as well. Hidetoshi Nakata of Japan and Perugia has replaced Fernando Hierro, and a generous round of applause for Nakata. Generally said that when he plays, Perugia have half a chance of winning the Serie A games, and he's not just popular with those supporters, he's made himself a really big name all around Italy. There's Cois looking to bring in Fuser. Should be comfortably tidied up by Shirunmu, all rather casual in the goal mouth. Hernandez away. We just had the official attendance handed to us, 21,352, so the ground only just a little over a quarter full. And those that have come have not regretted their decision on a cold Rome evening in December. Here now is Bacchini for Italy. Closed down by Dunga. Dunga likewise closed down by Del Vecchio. Here's Bacchini again. Del Vecchio, great chance here. It was a good challenge from Weah. Made the Roma striker shoot early. Weah coming across and getting the block and putting Del Vecchio off. Corner to Italy. That's the end result. Fuser. Cois got his head to it. Del Vecchio challenged by Hernandez. Still not away. Maldini back in. And what about that for a finish? The tightest of angles for Enrico Chiesa. But he's made it 4-2 nevertheless. Squeezing it home past Shirunmu. Credit goes to Paolo Maldini for the ball back into the danger zone. He saw Chiesa making the run. And Chiesa did the rest.
Yeah, he took up a good position. Maldini did well to put the ball back into the danger area. And Enrico Chiesa has just done enough. He just got on goal. Shirunmu perhaps could be criticised for not covering his near post, but it's one of those, he took a chance, thought he was coming back across goal and didn't, and Chiesa gets himself on the score sheet.
When we look in the centre as well, you've got to put some question marks over the world stars defending. Too motionless as Maldini's ball just cleared their heads. And they let Chiesa run into the box unchallenged. Have they got any orthodox defenders left on the field now, the World Stars 11? They've got David Neati of South Africa. He's back there, and I think that is about it. Even replacing Hierro with Nakata. Cross in from Dunga. And cross out from Dunga. With the goal kick for Italy. I wouldn't say some of the sting has been taken out of the game. There was never likely to be any sting in this sort of affair, but something is lacking that we had in the first half.
Yeah, likes of Ronaldo and Batistuta. Yeah, it does make it, obviously, it's a big difference. Zidane as well, not playing anymore. We've got nobody really pulling the strings like Zidane did in the first half, and the Italians can now just relax a little bit, start playing the football, not under the threat that they were in that first half against those extreme quality players.
And just at the moment, it looks as though the World Stars 11 are playing a 3-2-5 formation. And at the heart of that back three is George Weah.
Well, if the Italians can be bothered to move around a bit, I dread to think what that defence is going to look like by the end of this 45 minutes.
Just too high for Del Vecchio. There was no flag, and Shirunmu has kept the score at 4-2, somehow blocking the shot from Chiesa.
That was an unbelievable save, wasn't it?
Didn't know too much about it. Question marks again about the lack of an offside flag. Cross comes in from the corner, and Shirunmu's there again.
That was a fabulous save, wasn't it? Chiesa from literally 3 metres from goal. Didn't hit it that weakly, but Shirunmu was made himself a tremendous save there, reflex save.
João Pinto of Benfica, the latest player to begin his stretching exercises on the bench. João Pinto, the only unused substitute for the World Stars so far this evening. And here come Italy once more with Chiesa this time. Doesn't want to overexert himself in trying to get on and onto the end of the ball. And it's away through Zé Maria. Back it will come though. Cois brings down Hernandez. Hair tied back in trademark style, the Mexican. Weah.
Bit unfortunate so far. We've not really seen a great deal of Salas and Bierhoff. They've not really had the service from the midfield for the rest of the world. So it's a bit of a waste of their talents. If they'd been on in the first half with Zidane giving them good ball to run onto, what a threat they would be.
Looking forward to seeing Nakata in action as well, but he's been a lost soul on the left side of midfield so far.
Yeah, he's more or less in the left back position as George Weah was in prior to that. And
Shirunmu and Weah get their wires crossed and give away another throw into Italy. This one to be taken by Paolo Maldini. It's the turn of Fabio Cannavaro to face the cameras in the meantime. A lot of attention focused off the field as well. Here goes Fuzet. Could we have another goal on it? Chiesa looking to try and bring in Tomasi. Enrico Chiesa has touched the ball 3 times, scored once, been denied by an amazing reflex reaction from Ike Shirunmu, and then very nearly creating a goal for Tomasi, and then Shirunmu in action again to deny Del Vecchio. Dunga looking towards Nakata. Finally, he gets involved. The Japanese star finds Guerrero. Now Salas. Bierhoff wants the ball. Here's Nakata. Bierhoff now will go for the header, but even he, with all his aerial prowess, can't climb high enough for that one. And Dunga loses out now. Fortunately for the World Stars, it's retrieved by Hernandez. Zé Maria now. Bierhoff. Back towards Dunga. Fired in towards Salas. And quite comfortable for Gianluigi Buffon. Dunga's disappointed me, to be honest, Trevor, because you see so much of him, or we did do during the summer in the World Cup, and hardly saw him waste a ball, but I would say he's given it away as much as he's found a teammate in possession tonight.
Well, he's playing in the Japanese league now, and you might think that...
well, every game's like this for him, then.
Well, his standards might have just come down that little bit, but he's been a player of great value to Brazil over many, many years. And, I mean, he's still out there, he's still plugging away.
The sort of player you'd expect to see joining the goal-scoring festivities. Away by Buffon. Further away by Tomasi. Now Salas. The Roma fans whistle. The Lazio fans cheer in anticipation of something special from Salas. Judging by the difference in volumes, there were more whistles. I would suggest there are more Roma fans inside the Olympic Stadium this evening. Certainly more of their players involved in the action at the moment with the Italian national side. As another change is about to be made, it's going to be João Pinto of Benfica and Portugal. He's coming on for the World Stars, and for Italy, we're going to see Gianluca Pessotto of Juventus. He's going to replace Maldini. And Dunga finally does make way for João Pinto. He takes the captain's armband, but thus far has declined to wear it. Is he going to give it to George Weah? It looks as though that might be the case. Play restarts. It will be a goal kick for Gianluigi Buffon to take. Diego Fuzet has taken up the captain's armband for Italy. I suppose quite fitting, as he's now the only player in a blue shirt that started the game that's still on the field. Panucci there as well at right back. Thank you, Trevor, for that one. 9 substitutions in all. Here's Zé Maria. Brings in Suquet. Again, Zé Maria, the Brazilian. And João Pinto wasn't able to turn to get the ball even distinctly goal bound. Goal kick to Italy. Now 21 minutes played in the second half at the Olympic Stadium. Italy 4, the World Stars 2. Just one more goal to add to the 5-goal first half feast. It came from Parma's Enrico Chiesa. He could have had a second since, denied by FC Zurich goalkeeper Ike Shorunmu for the World 11. We're moving forward now in the form of Oliver Bierhoff, who's going to be beaten to the ball though. Defending done by Paulo Negro.
No, the game has gone exceedingly flat now, and just need both teams just to apply themselves a bit better. Just let the quality of the game drift a little bit.
Just looking down at the World 11 bench, and there is nobody on it. I was rather hoping we might see Ronaldo or perhaps Batistuta or Zidane come back into the fray for a final fling, but I think they've got changed already. Free kick to the rest of the world. It's Julen Guerrero of Athletic Bilbao in Spain. He's the recipient.
And particularly for the Italian players, that they can take this opportunity to shine a little bit. It's worthwhile them digging in, find a little bit of extra energy, and produce something that Dino Zoff's going to remember them for. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be thinking along that line.
Particularly these players now on the field in the second half, very much a fringe Italians team out on the pitch at the moment. Of all those that have come on, well, you can say Chiesa because he's got his goal, and the hard-working Roma striker Del Vecchio, they're particularly impressed. And now is Sandro Cois of Fiorentina. Making the break down the left-hand side is Pessotto. Won't reach him just yet. Bacchini. Now it is Pessotto, back towards Bacchini. Guerrero to Bierhoff, and back to the Spaniard. Cut out by Cois. Guerrero. João Pinto. Pessotto won't bother enlisting the assistance of goalkeeper Buffon. Instead brings in Torricelli. Here's Chiesa. Showed a little too much of that to Nakata, and Nayati is able to come away with the ball.
One thing you can say about the Italians is that despite all those substitutions they've made, they're still playing exactly the same formation that they started with, which is quite an indication as to the planning of Dino Zoff. He's going to stick with the 4-4-2 system, play two up front, but one of those two, whether it be Totti, whether it be Chiesa, whether it be somebody like Roberto Baggio, for instance.
Here's Fuzet now bursting through and missing the target, and that's the miss of the match tonight. Fuzet has had an excellent game down the right-hand side of the Italian midfield. Burst clear then. The World 11 defence just ripped open by some slick passing. But the finish didn't live up to the build-up.
Good movement, good passing. Doesn't take a great deal to open this rest of the world defence up.
I say defence, there was only two of them. Ball forward towards Guerrero. Dunga's turn to face the microphone.
As I was saying before, the formation is very much rock solid with Dino Zoff. Expects those two players up front, one of them to come deep, other one to make runs towards goal, and he'll sit with a simple four in midfield, with the creativeness coming from the wide positions.
Arguably the best striker of the lot, currently out with a long-term injury. Lazio start Christian Vieri would be very much the out-and-out frontman. Should he be fit? And another man on the sick list, Alessandro Del Piero. We've already seen what Inzaghi can do tonight. Totti, Del Vecchio. There's Vieri and Del Piero injured. I think the state of Italian front plate is very much alive and well.
Yeah, they've got a lot of quality. I think they're very similar to the types of players that, you know, that forward running player, Inzaghi, Vieri, that type of player. Then you've got Del Piero, you've got Chiesa, we've got on at the moment, and we've got Totti, who again is that type of player. You know, so it's you tend to breed them in a certain kind of way.
Mayati gives it away to Panucci. He beats Nakata with ease. And then a touch from Chiesa to Del Vecchio. Chance for Del Vecchio. And a good challenge from that established central defender, George Weah.
He's trying to impress somebody, George Weah, isn't he? That was a superb ball through there. Del Vecchio making ground, looked favourite, but George Weah determined to make Del Vecchio have by a blanks all evening, I think.
Corner for Italy. Fuser takes, and over the top the header. Panucci was up there, and Shirunmu watched it sail over. Well, there's been plenty of talk of George Weah being unhappy at AC Milan and finally wanting a move. Perhaps he's just wanting a change of position. I wouldn't have thought that was the decision of either Dr. Venglos or Carlos Alberto Pereira to put him back there, but when a player of Weah's stature says, I want to play at the back second half, you don't really have much to argue about. Surely one of the most skillful defenders that ever was. Soto beaten by the roll of the ball. Italy, just like England and all the rest of the Euro 2000 qualifying sides, waiting for their next burst of action in March in the new year. Denmark against Italy on the 27th. Here they go again. Some of these players will want to be involved in that one. All of them will want to be, and that's a good save again from Shirunmu to deny Bacchini this time. He's a player that's looked sharp since coming off the bench, and perhaps the best performer of all as a substitute is that man that made the save, Shirunmu. Weah clears. Kois beaten by Nakata. And it's Bierhoff weaving his way out of defence. Great ball to Salas. João Pinto in support. Still Salas. Boos from the Roma fans. Salas trying to go all the way through the Italy defence. And he was denied by a good strong challenge from Damiano Tomasi, which left a bitter taste in the mouth and allowed Del Vecchio to break away. Mistake though from the Roma man. The Lazio fans get their revenge for the abuse dished out to Salas. Well, that might just liven things up a bit of Roman rivalry in the crowd. Forward towards João Pinto. Salas again. He's looking for Sukat, who's been pretty much anonymous since he replaced Ronaldo some 20 minutes into the match. Perhaps he'll get involved. No way through though, and away will go Bacchini for Italy. A bit of space at last, and a bit more pace about the game again. Chiesa. Chance now for Del Vecchio, it didn't find him though. The pass was poor from Tomasi. And away will come the World 11 again. It's opening up once more with 30 minutes of the second half played. Here's Guerrero. Hernandez. Weah. Is he going to try something special, George Weah? Is he going to try and walk through the lot of them? Support from Bierhoff. Bierhoff goes for goal. Save from Buffon.
Better stop there from the rest of the world. George Weah coming forward, getting on to shoot, dumbing the play and creating an opportunity there for Bierhoff.
That's right, I'm hoping we might see George Weah try one of those wonder goals again where he weaves his way around 5 or 6 defenders and slots the ball into the net, but perhaps that's just a once-in-a-lifetime effort. This is the sort of match to try it in, surely. Or maybe not. Nobody will be impressed in this sort of game. Do it when the action really matters. Now Pinto lets the ball roll out. Casotto. Torricelli. Panucci closed down by Salas. Well, the cat calls from the Roma fans are only serving to fire up Marcelo Salas, which is a good thing for us neutrals. The Roma supporters in the crowd are demonstrating that we aren't all neutrals in the Olympic Stadium this evening. Flicked on towards Bierhoff, but the flag was raised well before it got to the German international skipper, and Buffon clears. Del Vecchio on the charge from Bacchini's clearance. Only Chiesa in the centre, now Cois. Little flat-footed there was Tomasi. Hernandez. Suker making the break down the right, and Hernandez bisected Suker and Bierhoff perfectly. Oliver Bierhoff has been offside 4 or 5 times in this second half, more than any other player in the entire match. And he doesn't look like he's enjoying himself too much.
Yeah, he's probably trying too hard now to get involved in the game because the rest of the world not having a great deal of possession. Even the Italian team losing their way as well at the moment.
Here's João Pinto. Little live wire from Portugal. Flag raised again against Suker. The play will continue with Panucci. Fuser. Change of pace to get away from the challenge of Salas. Now Fuser goes on, combining well with Tomasi. The challenge from Neati. He's grown in stature as the game's gone on. Away will go Hernandez. Salas. Didn't work with Bierhoff that time. Fuser. The best pass he's ever played, but Bacchini adjusted well. On the overlap is Pasotto. Bacchini going straight towards goal, helped out by Chiesa. Now Diego Fuser. Great chance building up here. Tomasi, and scrambled in somehow by Enrico Chiesa, who scores the second goal of the second half and makes it Italy 5, the FIFA World Stars 11 2. 5 quality goals in the first half. 2 rather bundled goals from Enrico Chiesa since the restart.
No, as simple as that, really. I think once the Italian side really put their minds to it, then the opportunities will come. Tomasi, not the best ball across George Weah, just getting his toe to it, putting it into the path of Enrico Chiesa, who could barely miss.
Italy 5, the World Stars 2. Our scoreboard corrects itself. 10 minutes of play to go at the Olympic Stadium in Rome. Here's George Weah now. It's confirmation of the goal scorers. João Pinto. I suppose it has to end in an Italy win anyway. It's their 100th birthday. Fuse won't quite get that, and for the first time this evening there's a bit of singing from the fans. And looking across towards the Curva Nord behind Gianluigi Buffon's goal, the fans are gathering to celebrate Italian football in typical Italian ultra supporters style. And a bit of singing. Well, that's going to make things a bit more interesting for us towards the last few minutes. João Pinto trying to do that on the field, but denied by Torricelli. Bacchini up towards Chiesa, looking for a hat-trick now. Weah away. Now Hernandez. He's decided to play up the back for a while.
It has become no more than a training exercise now for these players. Most of them out of position, certainly in the rest of the world side. The Italian side still trying to stick to their formula.
Good challenge from Neati. Chiesa trying to combine with Tomasi. And Neati denied Chiesa the chance to run on goal and get his hat-trick. Here's Bierhoff now. Down under challenge from Bacchini. Humps the ground in frustration. I get the feeling that Oliver Bierhoff really isn't at one with the occasion tonight. Already get on with the really important job of the evening. Here's Bierhoff again. Hernandez. Now Bierhoff. That's better. It's Salas. Bierhoff won't get the return though. More for him to be frustrated about, and I think that's the first half smile we've seen from Dino Zoff tonight. Del Vecchio. Denied by Salas at the expense of an Italy throw. And Gianluca Pesotto will take that throw in. Tomasi. He did well there, beating Nakata for strength and speed. The cross doesn't look too bad. Del Vecchio flinging himself at the ball. Weah and Neati managing to get it away, and Del Vecchio took a knock for his trouble. As Ronaldo looks on. No more than an interested spectator now. Neati came in with a challenge. Not enough to put Tomasi off though. That was the best cross that he's put in from wide.
Yeah, it's the best bit of action we've seen. Best bit of action we've seen from Tomasi. He's not really done a great deal on the right hand side. It certainly looks as if he's got some real pace there once he got into his stride. And as you say, it was the best ball that he's put in.
And Zé Maria just caught the falling Del Vecchio. Here's Fuse. 5-2, 5.5 minutes of normal time remaining. I would like to see something just a little bit out of the ordinary to finish off the game.
That's exactly what we're waiting for. Just somebody to do the unexpected. Bit of special skill. More likely to see it from one of the Italian players, I think.
I was just thinking, Trevor, if I was playing for the World 11, I might be tempted. Nothing to lose, nobody to impress particularly. Just to try something, try running through the lot of them. Some of them have the talent out there to do it.
And why not, and why not? But the other thing is the Italian defenders, I don't think they'll stand for that.
I'll give him a bit of a whack for being so impudent on the way. There's Pasotto losing his way. And Nakata. Now Guerrero. João Pinto making a break. Bringing in Salas. We might have seen that had the gentleman we've just seen in the stands still been on the field. Ronaldo. Hernandez. George Weah is itching to get forward again. Have to get back quickly though. Here's Chiesa. Del Vecchio ahead of him. On the right is Tomasi in acres of space. Great chance for Tomasi. Goalkeeper's missed it. Chiesa has got his hat-trick. Well, there's a storyline anyway. Enrico Chiesa on as a half-time substitute. All three second-half goals for the Parma hitman. 6-2, Italy lead.
Well, he won't score an easier hat-trick, I don't think. Two would definitely be considered as tap-ins, as that is. His first goal, perhaps the goalkeeper should have had it, but he won't be complaining. Tomasi released on the right-hand side. Not a save that Sharon will be particularly pleased with.
Rebounded back off the goalkeeper's knees. Straight to Enrico Chiesa. 6-2, well, he'll go down in the history books. Whether the game means a great deal or not, it does in the annals of Italian football history. A game to celebrate 100 years of passionate football fervour in Italy and at the Olympic Stadium. Enrico Chiesa has scored a hat-trick at the birthday party. Here's Fuse. Tomasi. Saw Bonucci fly by on the overlap. He gets involved now. Del Vecchio waiting. He deserves a goal for his efforts in the second half. Scoreboards at either end of the Olympic Stadium tell the story. Inzaghi, Di Francesco, Fuse, Chiesa, Chiesa, Chiesa. The six Italian goal scorers, Batistuta and Weah, for the world stars, who led 2-1 after going a goal down. There is hat-trick hero Chiesa. Now Fuse. Del Vecchio. Chiesa nicks it away from Nakata. Negro. Torricelli. João Pinto. No doubt about a free kick that the Portuguese international has won there from Bacchini. Clumsy challenge from behind. George Weah now. No way through for the African. Makes his way up to the edge of the box as Hernandez takes up possession. Still Hernandez, he's done well against Bacchini. Cross too close to Buffon. Still Dino's off, doesn't look happy even though his side have scored 6. Strange to think that the next team to visit Italy, as we look at 1 minute of time to be added on at the end of the game, not just a token gesture. Next team to visit Italy for an international match is on the 31st of March next year. It's Belarus. It won't be quite the array of stars that the World 11 have brought to the Olympic Stadium in Rome. It may be a similar result though.
Well, you'd think that the Italians are going to be extremely strong on the home ground. I mean, this is no real test, no real game to judge them by. But you can certainly see what Dino Zoff is trying to do with his team. And he's building around that formation, that 4-4-2 formation. And he's not going to stray too far from that.
on top of Euro 2000 qualifying Group 1 at the moment. Played 2-1-2, scored 4, not conceded. They've beaten Wales 2-0. Goals from Fuser and Vieri. They've beaten Switzerland 2-0 with a brace from Del Piero. Next up, as we said, a trip to Denmark. Wales are just behind them, level on points with 6, but they've played a game more. They've started Euro 2000 qualifying very well indeed, and undoubtedly, as usual, would be among the favourites for that tournament in the Low Countries. And our referee, Monsieur Rémi Harel from France, have decided that that's enough for the evening of celebrations at the Olympic Stadium in Rome. Italy 6, a World Stars 11, 2 is the final score. 8 goals, a first half of real skills, and 5 goals. Second half saw a hat-trick from Chiesa, but little else, Trevor Stephen.
Yeah, first half I was very impressed with, saw some good goals, some great play all around. Second half the game died out somewhat, but still enjoyable. It's a joy to see likes of Batistuta, Ronaldo, Zidane, all on the same field. The Italians got the result they wanted though. It was their night, it was their celebration. Good result for them, I suppose.
So the players leave the field for the after-match function, which some of the players have played as though they've been looking forward to that a little bit more than the game itself. Gianluigi Buffon, the Italian reserve goalkeeper as he has been tonight, is the last player to leave the field and the last player to face the mic. Don't forget that it's not the only football action on Eurosport this week as we approach what's generally a Christmas break around the European leagues and certainly the major European Cup competitions. We'll be looking at some of the action from Euro 2000 qualifying so far. Tomorrow night, Thursday night on Eurosport, and we'll be back on Monday, of course, with our regular feast of Eurogoals from all the top leagues in Europe. It's been an interesting evening at the Olympic Stadium. We've seen 8 goals, we've seen a hat-trick from Enrico Chiesa. We've seen flashes of the brilliance of the likes of Zinedine Zidane, Gabriel Batistuta, George Weah and Ronaldo, and we've seen a 6-2 win for Italy on their 100th birthday. It's a very good night from me, Guy Mowbray, and Trevor Stephen.